What is going on, YouTube? I am Prepper Princess, the author of Living on Almost Nothing. If you are interested in purchasing my book, I will go ahead and leave a link down in the description box below. All right, budgeting. You guys know what budgeting is. And no, I didn't cut my hair. It's in a bun, as it always is, except when I film. Okay, so one of the goals that I had for 2020, or have for 2024, is to really track my mileage and not really my mileage, my gas usage in my car and my grocery budget. Now the gas mileage, it's not, I keep saying mileage, I'm sorry. It's not the mileage in my car. It cost me about $62 to fill up from empty to full. And my goal was to fill up once a month on the first of the month, whether it's full or empty or not, and to see if I could continue to do that just by conserving, riding my e-bikes more often or walking more often, just trying to, stay in shape, do what like Italian people do, the centenarians, to, just try and use my car as little as possible. Not as little as possible, just future date budget my car usage. Now, one of the great things about my car, and I do want to talk a bit about cars and groceries and how I save money. Not everybody can do these things, but it has worked for me for several years. Now, people laugh, but I drive a 1998 Toyota Camry that is 26 years old. So it's 26 years old, still doesn't even have 100,000 miles on it. I think I'm at 95,000 miles-ish. I'd have to check the odometer, but that's about where I'm at. I do my own oil changes. I make sure to check the tire pressure and the fluids at least once a month. And I do all of my own interior cleaning of the car and exterior cleaning. But I like to keep it looking pristine, like it just got driven off the lot, because nothing makes me feel more rich or more wealthy than having a car that smells brand new, looks brand new, drives brand new, and has a full tank of gas. I love cleaning my front windshield with a microfiber cloth and getting that streak-free shine, and then just having like clear vision all the way down the road. I have not only filled and changed my own oil and filled the fluids, I've also switched out the interior dome light, the brake lights. Whenever something small goes wrong, I'm able to fix it. Maybe a couple of those little plug things. You men know what I'm talking about. I can't believe I can't think of the word. I swear, you guys, I do not have brain fog when I'm not in front of the camera. When I'm in front of the camera, I know words and math, and I'm great at it. But as soon as the camera turns on, I get flustered. I don't know. My brain activity is focusing too much. Like I'm looking at myself and I'm talking to you at the same time. If you ever feel like you have what it takes to start a YouTube channel, here's what I want you to do, because this is what happens. Go to your bathroom mirror. Think of a subject. Try talking about it for 10 minutes without stopping, without seeing anything, looking at yourself and talking for 10 minutes about that subject, and see how well you do. See how easy it is. It's not as easy as you think. So my average gas, like I said, it costs about $62 to $64 to fill it up from empty to full over the last 6 months, and these are different every single month. I have averaged $23 per month. I have not put 3,000 miles on my car to do, or 5,000. I do oil changes every 5,000 miles because that's what's in the manual. I have not needed an oil change, just regular, good old maintenance. I don't even have to wash the car. I just step in the car and it still smells like new because I'm never using it. And another thing about owning an old car. So my car is 26 years old. Think about this. Like when you have a newer car, it costs more to register the car, and it costs more in insurance, auto insurance. If it's not paid off, you are required to have full coverage. I go with liability only because I barely drive at all. Like I barely drive. The only trips I take are for like home improvement stuff, like going to Home Depot or Lowe's or visiting my family. Everything else is done when my friends and I hang out. We hang out here. Like my house is the party house. Woot woot. Woot woot. So, and we go out, and because I have spare e-bikes, we'll take the e-bikes out. But yeah, so my average has been 23 a month over the last 6 months in gas. And that includes filling up a 5-gallon can that I keep in my shed just in case. Like, just in case I run out of gas. I don't know. All right. So when it comes to food, so you guys remember a couple years ago or a year ago during the whole lockdown thing, I made videos on how to live on $30 a week. That was in Arizona, and everybody says that everything in California is more expensive. So I set a personal goal for myself to live on $30 a week, which adds out to $120 per month. But that is so, okay. So let me start out here. My average for the last 6 months has been $119.64. So I am just under the wire, but I am not saving on, I'm not going out of my way to change any of my stuff. Like, I'm not changing anything. Sorry. So here are some of the things that I do in order to save money on groceries. Not everybody can do this. I don't go to a food bank. I don't use food stamps, but if you need them, you should. You absolutely should. You should not feel bad about it. A lot of people use them, a lot of people are hurting these days. So don't feel bad about doing it. And even if, just go. If you need it, use it, but I just don't need it. So here's some of the things that I do to save a lot. Now it's been a little bit difficult because, I have a new fridge freezer, newish, a year old. And it's a top fridge and a bottom freezer. But it's only 15 cubic feet, and the majority of it is the refrigerator, just like it would be with a normal top bottom one. But my freezer doesn't have racks. It has drawers. So, and all of the operating mechanisms are behind the freezer. So the freezer drawer is like not deep. Like it's shallow, if you know what I'm trying to say. So there's not a lot of space in my freezer. So I'm kind of having to do things differently. So for starters, at Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, turkeys go on sale for like between 49 and 69 cents a pound. And a lot of places, if you spend $50, you get a free turkey. So I bought a turkey for like, it was like 69 cents a pound. And then because I spent over $50, I got a free turkey. And like I said, issues with space. So what I'm doing now, which I think is helping, it's making it a lot more spacey in there, is I'm cutting up the turkeys into like, not half, because half is still really big, but I'm cutting them up into like the drumsticks will go into one, the breasts will go into another, the thighs will go into another, and then stuff like that. And I'll put them in vacuum seal bags. And then at Christmas and Easter time, ham goes on sale. So I'll go and buy a giant ham for like 89 cents a pound or 79 cents. I think it was 79 cents a pound. Big old hams, and if they're 79 cents and you're buying like $30 worth, you're getting like more than 30 pounds of meat. You know what I mean? Same with a turkey. If you're only paying 69 pounds, or if you're only paying 69 cents a pound and you're paying like $20 for a turkey, that's like 30 pounds. It's like 25, 30 pounds. It's a lot of pounds. Like 50, that's just a turkey and a ham is like 40 pounds. Now, if you think about it, people always say, I need more. Well, whatever. I don't care. 4 ounces per day is what you're supposed to eat in meat. There's 4-ounce servings in a pound. So there's 16 ounces in a pound. And if you've got 20 pounds of turkey, divide that by 4 servings in a pound. So that's 80 servings. And then same with a ham, 80 servings. That's like 160 servings, which sounds pretty close to like half a year for like $40. You see what I'm saying? So the meat is the biggest way to save. And I can't do it all year because these deals don't come up all year. So what happens after I run out of the turkey and ham is I'll typically buy a full chicken and I'll cut that sucker in half. A full chicken is like $11. Like, and I don't buy the rotisserie chickens anymore because they have gotten so small they might as well be Cornish game hens, if you know what I'm saying. They're so tiny. So I don't buy those anymore. That used to be like $5 at Safeway, and they still might be, but I don't do it anymore. So I get like an $11 one that's like a good size, like for like $1.29 a pound. So you're getting like a lot of pounds. And I'll cut that in half, and then I'll do the air vacuum seal thing, and I'll only cook a half of a chicken at a time. And by the way, this $119.64 per month includes all my dog food too. It includes everything, all the, everything. And okay, so that's another subject that I was getting off on my head. But there's the meat. So when it comes to fruit, okay, for 5 months out of the year, 4 to 5 months out of the year, I've got all the oranges I can take. I actually donate to the food pantry. I probably donated, I didn't weigh them or anything, but probably 80 to 100 pounds to the food pantry, the church food pantry here in town. And I still have oranges out the wazoo. Now, when they're in season, I eat them every day. But I also make them into orange juice and freeze them in just your standard 12-ounce water bottle. But that's just like full-on orange juice. So when I go to make it into orange juice, I add like 4 times the amount of water. So it makes like a whole lot of orange juice. And so I never have to buy juices or fruit, to be honest with you. But I do like a little bit of variety. Also, my neighbor has lemon trees. She takes my oranges, I take her lemons. We have a thing going, a trade, I guess. Neighbor down the streets grows kiwana. Lets me take however much I want. And then you have seen my videos where I forage for grapes, blueberries, blackberries, and figs. So fruit's not an issue. My trees have not yet, the ones that I planted have not yet produced fruit. It takes like 3 to 5 years, so it's going to be a while. But by the time that happens, I'll have all the cherries and apples and pears that I want. So I'll never have to buy fruit again. Another thing that I do is I grow my own tomatoes, zucchini, and artichoke. And leafy greens, so spinach and green. I think it's just called leafy lettuce. No, that's not right. Salad mix. So I grow for 6 months out of the year all of my own greens. So the meat is super cheap. The vegetables are the fruits and vegetables are like greatly diminished in cost because I don't buy nearly as much as the average person. This is not like I said, this is not something everybody can do. And then when it comes to the other stuff, I always buy the cheapest stuff because not only is it the cheapest stuff, it's also what I like the most. So when it comes to fresh produce, the cheapest stuff is carrots, onions, potatoes. When it comes to the potatoes, I don't buy the cheapest, which is russet potatoes, those standard Idaho potatoes. I buy gold potatoes. So the russet potatoes go on sale Christmas and Easter again. So they'll go on sale for 39 cents a pound. But I even buy them when they're not on sale and they're still $1 a pound. But the gold potatoes are $1.28 per pound, or sometimes you can get a 5-pound bag for like $3.99. That's not on sale. So, that's what it is. The carrots are 69 cents a pound when I buy them in a 5-pound bag. My dogs like the carrots too. Dogs are asleep on the couch behind me. So, and onions are like 68 cents a pound. So very, very, very low cost. I do occasionally supplement with, I love green beans and peas. And I found that it's just cheaper for me to buy them in a can than it is for me to grow my own. Or frozen. It canned or frozen doesn't really matter. Same with broccoli. I've just found that it's cheaper for me to buy it than it is for me to grow it. And this year I will likely be adding eggplant. I planted it. We'll see. So, eggplant, zucchini, tomatoes is what I grow. So there's not really a whole lot. The majority of my food budget, which is not really a budget. I'm not budgeting. I'm not menu planning. I'm not doing any of that stuff. This is just me spending normal, like I always do, except I'm tracking it because I thought that maybe I was spending a lot more, but I'm not. So I thought maybe I would get up to like $300 a month because the grocery prices are crazy and the average frugal person spends $364 a month or whatever it is. And I'm like way beyond half of that. Or I'm about half of that. So it's not something that I'm worried about. And a lot of things have just changed in my diet. Like, it's very rare that I eat bread these days. I can, but it's not just that. It just makes my stomach feel like there's a rock in there. It just adds extra weight to me, and it's not for me. So, I'm not really eating sandwiches anymore. Occasionally I can, but when I do that, the bread is like $5, which is insane. Cause I found that the Walmart bread that I used to buy for like $1.25 or whatever is just, it's so tiny. It's like, it might as well be a slider. They're so like, the bread is like, it's like this big. But I buy the Artisano, which is like a normal, nice, thick piece of bread. So that's the thing. My coffee is not the cheap coffee. I buy Peerless coffee, hazelnut. Yeah, it's just hazelnut. For some reason, I thought there was another word on there. No, it's not hazelnut cream or anything like that. It's just hazelnut. So I buy the hazelnut, and then I also buy vanilla bean decaf. And I do buy a cheap one, but I just like sprinkle it in like to save 10 or 20%. So I add the cheap stuff in there just to make it less expensive. It's kind of like watering down your shampoo. I'm like watering down my expensive coffee with less expensive coffee, which is fine with me. And then I spend money on half and half, which is a large portion. And I'm okay with that. Like I said, I'm only spending $119.64 a month, so I can afford my expensive coffee habit. And people say I'm addicted to coffee or I'm addicted to caffeine. I'm not addicted to caffeine. And I'm not addicted to I joke about it saying I'm addicted. No, sometimes I drink decaf. Sometimes I drink half calf. Sometimes I drink full calf. I drink it for the taste, not for the caffeine effect. So it's not that I'm addicted to caffeine. I just really, really love coffee. All right, folks. So that is my 6-month update so far. I guess I'm going to have to let you guys know again in December or January where I'm at. And I'm really happy with where this is going. I'm spending less than half of what I thought that I would on gas and less than half of what I thought I would on food. And that's how I do it. And if you guys have the opportunity, if you live in an area where you can pick walnuts or almonds or fruits, vegetables, berries. They have a lot of, look in your community for gleaning stuff. There's a lot of farmers that do a lot of gleaning, and that's free to you or sometimes cheap to you. Go for it. Do it. It's actually pretty fun. I mean, just my foraging for berries is a blast. All right, folks, do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out.
Protection that you have. There are husband and wife testifying against each other. There are a whole list of them. Those are protected communications. And so a priest talking to his bishop is a protected communication.
Is Christian adults, Catholic, non-Catholic, Jewish, whatever, we should always be in the business of protecting children.
The one thing that always stuck with me that Mahoney didn't children.
Right? He didn't protect them. He didn't come clean.
He has presided over the wholesale sexual abuse of dozens